Hi, welcome to Advantage Horsemanship TV. Today we're going to be doing part 5 of our 8-part series on retraining an off-the-track thoroughbred. So make sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back. Scott Purdom here. I'd like to explain the Bitless Halter. It's got many great features, from a thin, stiff rope that gets horses off of pressure quickly and easily. It has a twisted pole piece that does the same thing. The snap, once you size it once to your horse, it makes it easier for you to take on and off. But the piece that really makes this product set apart from others is the strap that goes underneath the chin. What this does when you tie the reins to it, it works as leverage, pulls down over the top part of the nose, works exactly like a bit does. So if you want to go bitless, this is the tool for you. Well, welcome back. This is part 5 of our series of retraining the off-the-track thoroughbred. Today is going to be our fourth ride, and what we're going to do is we're going to just show this horse that not every time that we get on do we need to walk, trot, canter this horse, really work on, getting their gaits all the time. We want to really mix it up for the horse. So today we're just going to take them over a couple of things. I have this teeter-totter bridge. I'm going to take her over a couple of jumps, starting out on the ground, make sure that she can get over them. We did do this a while ago, but it's been some time since she's gone over the teeter-totter, so I'm going to do it on the ground first, make sure she's comfortable with it. Then I'm going to do it riding. Now, she's never done it riding, but we're going to take her over the jump, see how she does, maybe jump her when I get on, we'll see. But I think it's real important that every time you get on, you don't just, or every time you bring her out of the stall, it's not the same old thing every single time. Because I will tell you, the horse will start looking for things to do wrong. So what we want to do, as we're going to ask her to start going over this bridge, I want her to be comfortable with just moving over it on the side. I don't want to start her on the teeter-totter right off the bat. I want her to walk around nice and calm, and then step over this bridge. Excellent. Like I said before, she's really coming into herself with the groundwork. She realizes how it's just much easier to stay calm. Awesome. So she remembers this already. I like that. Good girl. She's so calm. I usually don't even have to, when I do groundwork, I just use the reins and snap the reins onto the bottom of the halter. I don't usually have to use my line all the time with her, my 15-foot line. Excellent job. Yield those hindquarters. Hey, hey. Not paying attention right here. That's a... Had a little brain fart, did we? Let's just try that again. Yield. Atta girl. Okay, I'm going to ask her to come over this bridge. Now that was a little cheating, and I was a little late on catching that. So instead of getting after her, I'm just going to be more prepared next time. Good. The teeter-totter can really scare some horses just because of the movement that it does. But it's a really good confidence builder for the horse. Especially with that loud noise, the movement, everything that kind of is involved. Now this bridge that I built here, I wanted to build the confidence on the horse and make it easy on the horse. So what I did is, as I actually built the bridge, I put rubber mats over it to at least make the sound a little bit less loud as a wooden bridge would be. If I did just a wooden bridge, which we do have wooden bridges and teeter-totters as well, the wooden bridge has a tendency to scare just a little bit more. If it's wet outside, what will happen, if they have shoes on and they get scared, they slip. And if there's ever injury or anything like that, sometimes your job just gets a little bit harder. I'm not trying to hide the world from the horse. I'm just trying to make it easier on her. Excellent. She's doing really well. I'm going to do it one more time this way, and then I'm going to make her go the other way, which is something she has not done. And bring the... Good. I'm going to make her bring the teeter-totter down this way. Let's see how she takes to it. Now right here, she's not really paying full attention to what she's doing. She's got to know, she's got to look down. Thank you. Good girl. She gets confident with something, and then she kind of just blows through it here. So I just need her to look at what she's doing. Awesome. Good job. So before I get on her, I'm just going to, I want to yield those hindquarters a little bit more. Good girl. You got an itchy face, huh? Okay, we have a television show to run here. Anytime you want to stop, that would be fine. Are you just going to keep going? This is what people at home have to watch. They have to watch you do this. She says, I don't care what you guys are doing at home. My face itches. Okay, honey, that's enough. Good. But you know, here's the one thing. I don't like my horses to be drones. I like them to have personality. I want to fix an attitude horse and make them understand that life isn't so bad. I want them to feel that they can display their personality. I like when a horse kind of does that stuff to me. Not pushes me over. It's my option to scratch the horse's face, not his option, his or her option. That's an important thing there too. If I'm standing here and she decides to just scratch on me like I'm a scratching post, that's not allowed. But I can go up to her and start scratching her, and she can kind of scratch back onto me. So it's really important for me that I have a horse that has personality. I want a horse that just likes to be around me. The one thing you're not going to find with me is you're not going to find in my program a horse that has his ears pinned back all the time. There's going to be horses, grouchy horses, that sometimes pin their ears back, but you're really not going to find horses that have those ears pinned back all the time with me, because I want these horses to just enjoy their job. So let's go ahead and work on getting over the jump here. She's seen this jump a couple of times before. I don't know if she's done the jump enough before, but she's seen it. But I'm going to allow her to kind of look at it, walk off on the side here. I want her just to see it first before we actually start jumping. I feel that she might be a horse that could have a job of jumping. It's important to find a horse's job. So I want to start preparing. You are just a real, I don't know if jumping is going to be her job. Let's put it that way. Whew! You put a lot of effort into that, honey. I think I may have done a little bit of jumping before with her on the groundwork part. I don't know if jumping is going to be her thing. Let me tell you something. You got some specialness there in getting over that jump. Well, I said we need to find a job. I'm leading to believe that this is not going to be her job, as she can't quite figure out how to do it correctly. It would be good for her to spend a little bit of time learning to jump. And you know the best way of learning to jump? Do it several times, all the time, just to kind of get her, not all the time, do it a lot with her though, just to kind of get her to understand. She kind of lunges over it and has no idea what to do with her back end. Doesn't know how to use her back end very much, as you can tell there. Let's try going the other way. Oh, well that way you got. Probably because it's going back to the gate. Well, that one wasn't so good. So I don't know if we're going to be jumping her when I'm on her until she gets a little bit better at it on the ground. But the more you jump her, the better she's going to get. Excellent. If you have an opportunity, put them over obstacles. We've done her over obstacles when it was a little bit warmer out. We also had an indoor obstacle clinic that we didn't take her in the clinic, but we did work her after the clinic on the obstacles, and she did really well. if there wasn't snow on the ground, or 5 foot of snow on the 5 inches of snow on the ground, sorry, we'd be outside doing obstacles if it also wasn't only 5 degrees here. So right now we're a little limited to the indoor. Okay, jumping's just not your thing, is it? But we're a little limited to the indoor and what we put in it. Stay back, please. Thank you. But it's still good to just kind of mix up with the horse a little bit. So now what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and get on her, do the bridge a couple of times, make sure that she's really not good about that, and then maybe I'll show you a couple other technical things to really start working on getting control, overall control of the horse. Okay, this is ride number 4 on her. I did not ride her in between the last show. So what you saw in the last show, she really hasn't gotten any better over yet, or we're not sure if she has or not because we haven't done anything else. But I want to mix it up again here tonight. I want to just kind of work on the bending right off the bat. Make sure that she's getting a little bit softer here instead of stiffer. That right side's getting a lot softer. It's not great, but it's getting better. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start taking her over this bridge. We're going to work on the softness when we start taking her over the bridge here. Have her come over, and then I'm going to soften her to the right. Maybe you go a circle or two. Good girl. Work on softening to the left. Good. She was a little stiff to the left there. Excellent. Now, as I go over this bridge, what I want to do is make sure to kind of really give her her face. I want to make sure that if she jumps off, I'm not going to be right there pulling her back and getting her back to me really quick. I like to just let them react however they would like to. And the problem is if we get in her face too much, we can actually stop progress forward, movement forward, and actually create them to be scared of the bridge. So it's real important when we start doing things like a bridge or coming up to it, we need to be relaxed, we need to be easy going, we need to give them a loose rein. They want to put their head down, that's quite all right. All right. Good. So it's real important that we control our nerves before we actually ever get up to it. The problem that a lot of people have, like I said, is we tend to want to get up here and be really ultra controlling, and we want to get real tight on the reins, and then what will happen is the horse gets a little scared and we get pulling back on the horse, and then we're the ones creating more nerves in the horse. So now let's go ahead and take her over. Let's take her over this way. Make her look. Oh, I like that. I don't care if she does it, takes a little bit of time to do it. I want her to look at what she's doing. There we go. Good girl. So I'm going to give her a loose rein, let her look. Very important. Just going to keep her head straight. So the only thing I'm really going to do is keep her head straight. That's it. Awesome. Good girl. So the only pulling I'm going to do on her is just to keep her head in the direction I want her to travel. Excellent. So let's just try this again here. This way made her just a little bit more nervous, but that's okay. Let her look. Forward, keep your head straight. Good girl. Very good. Very good. I'm going to do that one more time. Soften. She's getting, I can just feel when she gets a little bit stiff, especially on that right side. So I just immediately go right back to softening that right side for her. Excellent. Okay, now I don't really think she's up for jumping right now, so what I'm going to do is I put down the jumps on the ground, kind of, there's 3 poles, and what I did is I just kind of made them all uneven, so she has to kind of look at where she's going. I'm going to ask her to walk over them, nice and relaxed. Again, I'm not going to hold her face. I'm just going to give her time to look at it. Good job. Very good. You see, on this 4th ride, it makes it so much easier for her to want to just relax down because she's not told to do things. You know, it's really good some rides to not even trot or canter. Some rides, it's great just to sit up here and do nothing, especially for a horse like her. Some horses that have standing still issues, you know what I do? I teach a lesson off of them, meaning I just sit there and teach, and I just tell the horse to stand still. And that's the whole session for the day, is just stand still and do nothing. And it's really a great lesson for the horse that not every time that we come around that they have to work hard. Because they anticipate things. They anticipate what we're going to do next. And if you ever had a horse that doesn't want to be caught in the field, because sometimes to them, every time you catch them, you're going to make them work a little bit more. So what they like to do is they like to then run away from you because they don't want to be in that work. You need to let them enjoy life a little bit. Obstacles might be her thing. She really takes to them quite well. Excellent. What I'm going to do now as kind of an in-between break here is I'm going to start working what I did last ride, which was work on her stops. Work on giving her face to me and giving her body to me going backwards. Remember, a stop is merely a transition between forward and reverse. So as I'm going forward, I'm going to think reverse. Now, I didn't get it really great last ride. There. Good girl. Oh, that's much better. Last ride she had kind of a yo-yo reaction where she, good girl, where she wanted to walk forward every time I pulled on her. But how I like to get her to stop is I do it right from the bending exercise here. I'm bending her, and then I apply the outside rein to even it up, and I ask her to take a couple of steps back. Now there was that yo-yo again. There I didn't ask her to go forward. There I didn't ask her to go forward. But if you ever want to get a better stop, think of the stop as just a transition between forward and reverse. They have to stop in between. But if you think just stop, what will happen is that horse will lean and brace up on you every single time you ask for a stop. What I'm doing is I'm saying, I don't necessarily want you to stop. I want you to back up. And watch how much better the stop's going to become. Now, that one wasn't a great stop there. Good girl. We'll try it again. Now there I was thinking about asking her to move, and she kind of leaned on my leg. And I let her get away with it because it's important that a horse like her that was a little leg sensitive to begin with is allowed to lean and brace up on your leg instead of being one who wants to go all the time. So we're going to ask her to stop again from the bending, stopping, backing, backing, backing. Good. Now from here, what I'm going to start to do, I want her to start giving her face in to me, to start thinking about a little bit of collection now. So now I have to show her that there's a difference between backing and collection. I like to do this to kind of mix it up on them, especially on a day that I might be a little bit slower and do things a little slower. Good. Back up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold a little bit of pressure, enough steady pressure to get a reaction, any reaction at all. Reaction could be flipping the head, backing up a little bit. Now she's a little confused between the backing cue and the collection. I'm just going to hold this pressure until she softens her face down a little bit for me. I'm looking for her to bring her nose in and down for me. But I'm only holding enough steady pressure, locking my arms towards on the pommel of the saddle or on my thighs, and I'm just holding it until she figures out what direction to go. Right now, think of it as putting her nose in and down as an option for her. And that was down, but that was not really in. She kind of just sat there and pulled on me. The option of backing up, she has. The option of putting her head up, she has. But I'm just going to keep holding it until I get the right option. And the reason I'm doing this, sometimes I don't do this right away, but for her, what I'm doing is I'd like to get her to not be so abrasive when I ask her to do something with my hands. So I'm going to teach this to her a little bit sooner than I may others. What she also does is she gets because of her background as an off-the-track thoroughbred, okay, because of her background in racing, what happens is when you pull on the bit in racing, what is a horse supposed to do? Go faster. So what I want to teach her is that I'm pulling on the bit, or I'm not riding her in a bit, but I'm pulling on her face, and I actually don't want her to go anywhere. I want her to actually just soften her face and relax, and let this turn into a relaxation cue. But I will tell you, a horse like her, she's going to get a little antsy during this process, as you can tell. Just wait. Try to keep those hands as steady as possible. All right. So because of the trouble she had, what I'm going to do is just break it down a little bit easier for her. I'm going to go back down onto the ground and at least start teaching her how to soften her face from the ground, because I think the fact of the matter is that when we're on top of her, she's actually using that as the reason for the anxiety. So I'm going to start teaching her how to soften, there we go, her face on the ground. Look how much better that is right there. When I'm on the ground, she doesn't get so anxious. She actually there starts softening that face. All I'm doing is I'm just bringing my arm around her and bringing that hand back as if I was riding there. Good. So by doing it on the ground, I'm taking care of one fact of her problem, and one fact of her problem, one thing of her problem is, one part of her problem, is the fact that she doesn't know how to give properly to her face. The second part of her problem is she doesn't know how to give properly to her face when I'm on her. And when I'm on her pulling, it's a whole different, there we go. So instead of fighting her, it's sometimes good if you just take a step back and try and figure everything out one step at a time. So I asked her to do two things. I said, be calm and give me your face. For her, that was very difficult. That was too many things at once. It was like overload. So by just doing this now, I can help her on this part. Awesome. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be real soft to try and finish this out. I need to find a stopping point. I've gotten on her now, and I'm trying to get her to just realize that it's not so bad when I'm on her, and not so bad when I ask her to give to her face. So I need to find a stopping point, and it's real important. I want to try and at least get one or two good tries to quit, because I think her quarter's up. I think she's done. I think she needs a break. So what I need to do is just try and find something. You know what, hey, that was a little bit of a try without getting very anxious standing there. All I did here was just pull a little bit on the pressure here, see if that face will come and give to me. Excellent. I might just let her be right there. I want her to not think that every time I'm going to pull her that it's going to be hard work for her. So I might kind of give her a break. I might do it one more time or two more times before I quit, but I think I need to give her the end. So take this and understand that when you're at home, sometimes you don't always get what you'd like in training. Sometimes you have to take what you can get and be happy with it. That was not where I wanted to end it. This is not where I would like to end it, but for her, this is where she needs to end it. So stay here and tune for next week, because we're going to show you the next ride and how she progresses from there. So thanks for watching Advantage Horsemanship, and we'll see you right here next week.